briefest of glances can start the biggest romances. Our eyes were doing the dances and they were making advances. When our eyes met, I was like, hey, now I bet that Joe could be the one. Are you the one?
Hello, and welcome to the Boom Room, your premiere The Circle podcast. I'm your co-host, Aubrey.
And I am your other expert, Taylor. Hello, and welcome back.
Let's get into it. Let's just get straight into it. We're on episode 5. And we just start straight off with the body swap.
This was very the opposite of last week, where it felt very set-up-y, and I guess it was, because so much happened in these two, it feels like.
Mama, yes. Okay. I didn't love these episodes.
Really? Well, okay, is it because it
Really?
was Auntie Andy, which was hard to watch? Like, I agree with you there. But
It's because it triggered my I hate betrayal shit. Like, don't get me wrong, they're playing the game well, they're playing the game good. It would give me a fucking complex. Like, I would sob for months after getting home if this happened to me. If I put someone as my number one and they started to chat and were like, hey, let's betray this person, I would disappear for months.
it is pretty
because
rough.
It would destroy me. Also, I will say, Rachel has discovered a new meta in the circle, which is that you can just kind of lie about shit. Like, it's really hard to
Well,
double check people.
I feel like people have tried that before. It's just never... It just doesn't really matter most of the time. Like, I guess K-Fern's lifeguard thing, but this was just a rare case of, like, I just can't believe how
Wait, no,
well it
I'm
worked
not
out,
saying-
this Decepticon thing. What the fuck is it?
Season? I don't know.
Disruptor, thank you.
I'm not talking about
Disruptor.
lying about, careers or stuff. I'm just talking about, lying about interactions you've had with people.
Oh, no, we've definitely seen that before. We're just rusty.
But she does it to a new level, I feel like.
Certainly to a level of success that is impressive. Because...
Because I feel like a lot of the times people will be like, well, there has to be, some kernel of truth. Fucking Rachel's just like, I don't like this person. I'm going to say they did something bad. And then people are like, wow, I can't believe they did that. And they never check.
We gotta go through it, I think, at least a little bit in order here. Because I have
Okay,
two great
fair.
quotes off the top, which is, can someone tell me what shalam means? And also,
Yes, that was
catfish
good.
squared.
I also have catfish squared. I also have, oh God, she loves yoga. I love yogurt.
That was a good one.
She loves yoga. I love yogurt is a suggestion for a title, as is catfish squared, I will say.
I'm planning to beat those, but they are all in contention.
I also have some ones that beat them.
One of the ones that comes up
so-
right away that could beat it is Angel Crown instead of Halo, because that's in the
Halo, yeah.
Madeline and Rachel chat that we kick off.
So, I know I talk a lot about, what I would do and how I'm just a good game player. Genuinely, to the deepest parts of my soul, the idea of messaging the person I've body swapped with never once crossed my mind. In the entire week since we watched the last episode, and I've been thinking about these, never once have I considered, oh yeah, they should message. It makes obvious sense. Never would I have done that.
I think a part of me thought, well, they certainly wouldn't be allowed to, collude with each other. That...
Mama, the colluding was encouraged.
It was instant, too. Honestly, a really good plan. Great idea. I thought it even before I knew how well it was going to work out. Just going hashtag full transparency mode. And even funnier when they're kind of on opposite sides of the house.
Yes. No, yeah. Well, kind of. So yeah, they talk, they share their stuff. And I love that Rich is like, well, right, we have to talk each other up to our respective sides of the house. And Madeline's like, I don't want to do that. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Madeline is going to talk up Rachel. I guess Rachel has to talk up Madeline. Fuck.
No, it's a they put themselves right away into all right, we're just gonna do mutually assured destruction. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna make each other look great, and it's gonna be great. And then it was.
Yes. Also, by the way, we did get a reveal as to how it works, which is if like Madeline's account got eliminated, Madeline is stuck as Rachel for the rest of the game. And assuming that they were told the details, I fear Madeline, as Rachel, am going to go to Andy and be like, by the way, this is Madeline as Rachel. We're eliminating Madeline. And then, like, for Rachel's allies, I'm Rachel. And for Madeline's allies, I'm Madeline, you know? I'm trying to play it that way. I don't know if I actually am. That's just a thought that entered my head.
There is no way that would work.
No, but it would be funny. And it would make for great TV.
Sure.
So after the Madeline and Rachel talk, we get a talk with Rachel and Kevin. I've decided to call them by their account names.
Yeah. I kind of made notes as like Rachel as, just so I can try and coherently talk about it. But yeah, no, we're doing the tried and true, the people don't exist, just the accounts, and we will refer to it that way.
Technically, all of my notes for this one have Rachel in quotations, but I can't verbalize that.
You could. It would just be a lot of work all episode.
Quote unquote Rachel. Oh my god, no, that would suck. Yeah, no, but Rachel and Kevin have a conversation, and it's funny because Rachel is like, yeah, Madeline spoke so well of you that I don't hate you anymore. And Kevin's like, that's great. And then meanwhile, Rachel's like, I still hate Kevin. Which is just really funny because on the other side, it feels like Rachel's like, hey, Madeline's cool. And then like they all are like, oh great, Madeline's cool now. Whereas like it's like Rachel's fine. It's like, no, we're not good with like Madeline's people, even though Rachel says we are. I don't know. It was an interesting one direction-ness.
I was impressed and kind of surprised that Kevin actually was like immediately into squashing any beef. Like, it's one thing to say like, oh, I don't want to be at the center of drama, and it's another thing to like actually squash a beef and not want enemies in the house. It just, maybe I had Kevin pegged wrong.
No, that feels so Kevin. Kevin never wanted this. Like, it came from Rachel out of nowhere. And then Gianna doubled down on it, and Kevin was like, what the fuck?
I don't know. He still gives me this, like, fuckboy energy that makes it hard to assume it's not a ruse.
I think that's just because he's, like, a young 20-year-old man.
Maybe. Look, maybe.
I fear that's just what straight men are like.
Point being, Kevin won some points with everybody. Or, I don't know. That sentence doesn't really end.
Kevin didn't really win any points with anybody through this conversation.
No.
Which is fucked up because he thought he did.
No, the only thing it did was make Kevin and Rachel get along on paper.
No, the only thing it did is it made Rachel rank higher in Kevin's priorities. It did nothing to change how Rachel thinks about Kevin.
But they're willing to work together now. So, no, they're not. No, they're not at all. He's literally next off. What am I saying?
No, it's literally just gaslighting.
Yeah, no, I got lost in the light.
They just lied to him.
No, that's really funny. Speaking of which, Garrett watching Atlanta Pride is very like sad prison energy, peering out the window at the world he can't be a part of.
I want to believe that the angle they showed us was the angle he had, like through an alley, through some trees. That was so sad and just so funny.
I'd be willing to bet the angle we saw is better than what he was watching.
Probably true. But then we get a conversation with Jadeja and Garrett, which I loved because immediately they both like send a message and the other one's just like, I was expecting more. And then like they start talking about like real shit and then Garrett's crying and they're like, we're friends for life. And I was like, this conversation is exhausting to me. It
was very funny. I just wrote trauma bond. That's the only thing that really matters here.
Truly it is.
Like, it's always nice, but you know, it's a TV show. I'm not gonna like cry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't know. I was debating if I sounded too much like an asshole.
I didn't give a shit is the problem. Like,
I don't know.
Like, it's sad. Absolutely. I want to be clear. And if I was like talking to Jadeja, I'd probably care more. But like, it felt so weirdly out of place in the show.
It was. Also, you'd care more if you were talking to Jadesha because suddenly she'd be somebody you know instead of a literal figment on a screen. Like, I know they're real people, but they're not.
And also, it was so weird. Like, it was like, she explained, like, her story, which is, like, heartbreaking. And here's the thing, is in that position, I probably would have, like, teared up as well. But, like, when Garrett was, like, crying, and, like, I was like, Mama, come on. It's a show. I don't know. Maybe I'm heartless.
A little bit.
I can't. Like, if we're gonna do that, do it faster. I can't.
I always think how funny.
Not when it's like.
I always think how.
Not when it's one message.
I always think how funny it would be if the person, like, trauma sharing was just fucking lying. And how poorly that would go down at the end. But how, like, I would be that asshole who's like, damn, this is so traumatic, I couldn't have cooked up a sadder story. Oh, wait.
Right? Like, first of all, there's always going to be my paranoia that people are just fucking lying to me. But then also, like, I don't know. And maybe this is because I'm very online, but, like, that one message was not enough to, like, there's so many, there's so much deeper to that, like, we'd have to go before it, like, starts to, like, truly impact me. And again, I understand they don't have access to sending more messages.
Or maybe they do.
You're crying over the initial message.
I always feel like there's a lot we don't see, too, which I have no evidence of.
If they do, they hide it really well because they don't show it on the screen.
There have been cases in the past of, like, messages in the background we haven't seen. I don't think it was ever terribly meaty from my memory. But,
no, but there has been a couple times, and we've pointed out the couple of times I've noticed.
And I think we got an emails about it, even, I want to say.
Oh, nice. That's probably
If
true.
you did it, remind us. Get your credit.
Yeah, get your creds. Let's talk about the game they play, Make Out, Marry, Murder, which they all played it wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. B, I don't know. I literally only even bothered writing down the murders because it's the only thing that seemed to.
I wrote down all of it, but literally I wrote down, like, the first two people, Garrett and Darian. And then I was like, they're not doing this for real. This isn't fun. And then I stopped, and I was like, I need to write it down, otherwise I'm going to annoy. So, like, I rewound it and watched it again, and, like, wrote down
that's
things
rough.
correctly.
Honestly, this was not one of their better games. Probably because you're right. They just didn't play. I don't know. It was all very strategic, and that's, like, fine. But it wasn't even, like, fun strategy.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't at all.
Do we want to just, like, mush it together into, like, what actually mattered out of this? Because. Okay, hold on. I'm in my notes here because I was trying to figure out what the answer to that would even be. And I have written down.
I mean, Darian said he was going to make it with. Well, everyone said they were going to fucking make it with Gianna.
Yeah, I have written down people read the wrong things into everything and it's a whole mess. Everyone makes out with Gianna and Madeline takes it personally.
And so does Jadeja a little bit.
Okay.
Specifically, Darian making it with Jadeja.
Which was all. Just play the game, people. What are you doing?
Right. And then also Andy was like, I'm going to marry Kevin and make out with Madeline, which is like, why would you do that, first of all? Like, what was the point of that? No one asked you to.
It was just, that was...
But then also...
No, you go.
It was weird. It was a weird choice. And then it was also weird, because then it was like, Rachel was like, this proves that he's, like, cheating on her. And it's like, what?
Yeah, I don't
know.
I felt like nobody's answers actually meant anything all that deep, and every single person read something deep into at least one or two answers. And it was just sort of having the God's eye view. It was kind of just dumb. It's like you're all being dumb.
Yeah, because Gianna was like, yeah. Because Gianna was like, oh, I'll make out with Andy. And Rachel's like, oh, obviously Andy's flirting with Gianna. And it's like, what? What is that? No. That's not true, though.
I guess we're.
Where are you getting this from?
I mean, we're in part complaining about the information deprivation aspect of the game, but
no, but like I get it, but like reading this much into a game of FMK, that's wild.
yeah, it. Especially because then apparently this was supposed to have been a setup for like a marriage party, which
Right?
instead it didn't work for
No.
that.
It didn't. No, I literally, I'll be honest, it started out on a bad note. I think if Garrett had chosen 3 guys and taken it seriously, other people might have as well. But he didn't. I blame Garrett.
That's true. We should just
Darian
blame
did.
the gay guy. I'm into that.
Because Darian did it kind of honestly. And I think if Garrett had also done it honestly, then we maybe could have gotten some honesty later on. But like,
I don't know. It was a bad week for games, but we'll get there.
Oh my god! That's another reason I didn't like these episodes. By the way, is like the games weren't even fun.
The games did drag. I don't know. I forgave a lot in these because I just found the Rachel and Madeline kind of zero to hero story bizarre and compelling.
Oh, I found it bizarre and annoying. But anyways, we get Madeline and Andy talking, and Rachel as Madeline is being way more forward than Madeline as Madeline ever was.
Which I blame Madeline for this 100%. She said to like keep your conversations with Andy. I think she said spicy.
Spicy, yeah.
Which Madeline wasn't following that rule.
No, she wasn't. I don't know why she fucking said that. That was a fucking lie.
She got caught up in her own character. And like
she did. Also, I got legitimately angry when it was like, are you an only fan of Jadasia? It's like, no, I'm only a fan of you. Oh, it's like, shut the fuck up. I hate you. I hated these episodes. These episodes made me legitimately angry, if you can't tell.
But
it sucks.
But only good boys get dessert. Are you a good boy?
Oh my god. That's the other. Oh, it was like porn writing kind of levels, mama.
Well,
they suck.
No, they're sexting on TV, Aubrey. Of course,
I
they're
also
gonna
love
just
that both of them were
write a porn novel.
Viscerally uncomfortable with it.
I like how I feel like Madeline started finding her voice a little bit, and it only made Andy more and more uncomfortable, which was just genuinely funny to watch.
Also, again, buck wild of Rachel to just fucking lie about Kevin in the middle of this conversation.
Yeah.
And just for no goddamn reason.
She even said, I think she's just messing with him.
I don't know. It's wild. Then we get a conversation with Darian and Gianna.
It's cool that they can grill. I have to say, I don't know if I just kind of missed that in previous seasons, but like out in the sun grilling, that's not the type of steak that I like, but it looked really not like that. Didn't look like a cheap steak to me. I'm just saying, if I was Gianna, I feel like I was having a great day.
Yeah.
Did you not get that? Did you not see that immediately go like, oh, this is a vibe.
A very different thought.
This is not a hot tub.
I also
hot
hated
tubs
this
suck.
conversation. No, I like a hot tub.
I mean, hot tubs are nice when it's cold, but if a hot tub in the heat is
Honestly, no, I like a hot tub when it's hot.
But I don't.
If you got shade.
Shade?
Yeah, like shade. If you're like in the hot tub in shade.
No, that's a hot tub in heat seems like mental illness to me. But a hot tub when it's cold is like, ooh, Nordic adventure.
No.
All right.
Because here's the thing. If you get into a hot tub when it's like cold outside, when you get out of the hot tub, you're like in pain because it's so cold. If you're in a hot tub in heat, it's just like, first of all, you don't go super hot. So it's just like a nice warm jet adventure. And then you get out and very quickly you're still okay.
No, if I get in a hot tub when it's warm, I'm already warm because it's warm out and the heat is a crime. And then I get in a hot tub and I get more hot and I start to sweat and be uncomfortable. So I get out and it's still hot and I drop dead.
Pool. Ooh. Nah, you just listen, we can agree to disagree. You like grills, I like anemones.
I would argue that krill is an anemone, but that's
Anemone. Anyways, I hated this conversation because so let me be clear. Obviously, this is a game where you're doing a popularity contest and you are trying to get in good with people. And I would argue Darian and Jadacia's flirting has been more serious than some of the more casual flirting like you have with Madeline and Andy or Kevin and anyone.
I agree.
So his flirting with Gianna felt weird to me.
You know what else felt weird to me is that this conversation genuinely felt like a role play conversation where like if Darian was paying attention and not flirting, he would have, I feel like, said, these do not read like the answers of a woman. These read like the answers of a man who wishes he was Darian.
Yeah. It was a bad conversation. It was a weird conversation. I did not like the conversation. Another strike against these fucking episodes. Let's get to the wedding.
No, I think Darian missed an opportunity to like learn something here. Because Jadacia's response to like, I'm gonna have 2 wives was a very typical response, I feel like, of no you're not. And
well, what the fuck are you talking about?
Gianna being like, oh yeah, you're gonna have 2 cool sexy bitches hanging off your arm.
We're gonna have a threesome. It's like, ew.
It just didn't read slutty girl. No. It read horny man.
Although, hey, Madeline did the same fucking thing.
It was different. It was
a lot hornier, to be fair. It was less, we're gonna get married, and more, we're gonna fuck.
Yeah, it was still weird. Don't get me wrong.
It was so
but like, it was, I don't know. To the wedding party. You tried to get me out of this, and I stopped you.
Yeah. I love that Andy's like being forced to be friends with Rachel, even though he does not want to be. That's like gotta be fun and cool.
Legitimately funny.
For a person who's about to be betrayed by the person who's making him be nice to Rachel. Anyways, whatever. And then I like Jadacia bringing the energy of like, hey, what the fuck? First of all, it was a game. Mama, okay. But then, so here's the thing, is Jadacia was crazy for bringing it up and being like, what's the whole sister wife stitch with like Darian and Gianna? Like, it was a game. We had to pick someone. Your man is nice. Like, that's nothing. Why are you mad? Them not answering made her not seem crazy anymore. The way they were failed to respond? No, she was right then. Suddenly she was correct.
Yeah, Gianna not knowing what to say at all was honestly really funny. Them just floundering.
Yeah.
But
both Gianna and Darian, all of them were like terrified.
And Rachel, Madeline, and Andy are like a public trio. That is something that everybody noticed.
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. This.
And then. No, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you actually.
I was gonna say Tiara shows up.
Yeah. That was episode 5.
The maid of honor has arrived, and I'm here to shake this shit up. Ooh, she came in hot.
She did. Obviously we're just gonna talk about episode 6 now, but my prediction was that Tiara was legitimately gonna be like ChatGPT or something.
That's so funny.
The weird, like, modulated voice at the end. And honestly, the message was a weird as fuck opener that felt like it was written by production and not a contestant. And I was ready for a real or fake AI to be in the game.
That's so funny. I would have loved that.
I'm just saying, next season, if one of the contestants is ChatGPT being like prompt manipulated by either production or a contestant, that would be hilarious.
I mean, listen, we missed a season. We may have missed that happening.
That's true. We might be on the backslide of AI right now, not the upslide.
Ooh. No, I'll be honest. When I heard Tiara and I saw the picture and I saw like and the profile was like Kiki with TT, and then I heard the voice. I was like, is it one of the dolls? Is it a doll? Do you know what that means, by the way?
A pussycat
That
doll?
means- no, trans woman.
Oh, then no, I did not know
Specifically,
what that meant.
Yeah, yeah. Specifically in this situation, I'm talking about like one of, anyways, the dolls, like Black trans women. They're always giving, and like, listen, it's a Black gay man, so I was like, let's call it half right, but I was like, damn it, I was like, I wanted my Black trans woman, damn, because I know she would have given the circle it, she would have given it,
For
but
sure.
this guy, he said he's gonna give it, get it, got it.
Good.
Which I also liked as a title.
It's a good one, but can it truly beat Angel Crown? Also, Garrett is quoted as saying making out with Gianna is a safe choice, which is just kind of funny.
That is funny. Yeah. So we go back to the party, and it's really funny because Madeline leaves a message. I don't even remember what it is. And Rachel's like, okay, stop. Like, I don't sound like that. And then everyone was like, that's so Rachel. That's truly Rachel core. It's like Madeline was like, I'm getting better at playing Rachel than Rachel was playing Rachel. And it's like, that's kind of true, I fear.
I honestly, they're almost better as each other than they were as themselves.
They're more fun.
Yeah, Madeline was fine either way, but both of them are really shining in each other's profiles. They should just stay.
Truly.
They shouldn't switch back. I think they'll get in their own heads all of a sudden.
Absolutely, yes. And then I love this because Tiara does a thing where she talks about like being adopted and all about family. And she's like, I want people to be like, aw. And then it cuts to like 4 different people being like, aw.
That was an excellent edit.
That was such good editing, I
A
fear.
brilliant called shot from Tiara too.
Oh yeah. So we get information about how the ratings are gonna go, which is that the bottom player will be immediately blocked. And this is where we get the information about like the disruptors being blocked. And the reason why this is really important is this is where Madeline's like, oh, I need to block Andy. Fuck him. And it's just like, damn, that was rough. And then, cause it's Gianna, Madeline, and Rachel are sort of like entering into a chat together. And I love the shock puppeting that they've been doing. And like they continue to do it. Cause I love Maddie as Rachel being like, hey Gianna, we love Kevin.
Yeah.
Which is like not how Rachel feels. But all Rachel as Madeline can do is like, yep, we love Kevin. It's like they're doing improv. They just have to yes and each other, which is horrendous.
No, it is the reason why I enjoyed these episodes. It's just the weird position of it all. That they kind of by their own choice keep like putting themselves into their own net benefit, as fucking ridiculous as it is.
I agree, and I think it's so funny. It does have something, which is like, I don't love it whenever production does something that like forces people to team up. Because I always feel like it's like, well, this isn't how the game was gonna go. But like, whatever, that's me being picky. So Kevin and Tiara.
Oh, it was wait, no, if that was the whole thought, I don't think this did force them to team up. I think the expectation was for them to do the opposite of what happened here.
I don't know. I think this is like looking back at it, I think this is the only way it could have gone. I don't know. I don't know. My expectation was not for it to go this way. So, I'll at least give them credit for that this one didn't feel like a forced team up as much as like a disruption. Fair. I will say it is made better by the fact that they were not on the same side of the house. If they had been on the same side of the house, this would have just been very boring. But I feel like they wouldn't have let this happen if they were on the same side of the house. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Also, what is the actual reason for getting rid of it? Like, I understand how it sets, like, how it works, but like, was it really just as simple as I see a more optimal option?
Yeah.
That's pretty cold.
It was if I go to the girls and say, hey, let's get rid of Andy. I'm in with the girls, of which there are more. And I have basically.
Yeah, no, and like it makes sense. It's a good strategic
gameplay.
move.
It's just
it's cold. It's really cold.
It's it's the kind of thing that like this is a game absolutely, and you lose a little bit of power when you're a catfish, and you're saying this, which is why I would never be a catfish, because I want my moral high ground. I live up here. We're not friends after the show. Like, you didn't have to betray me like that. You chose to. We might be playing a game. You chose to be shitty to me in that game. And I didn't choose to be shitty to you. We're not friends anymore.
That's sort of the key point of why, like, I respect the move, but I can't celebrate it, because it's not like that last minute, you or me and I cut your throat first kind of to get the win move. It's sort of like, well, we were going to have to fight eventually anyway, so I might as well just kill you. And it just, you're right.
No, and
but
here's the thing. It's like, I respect it as a game move. It's a good game move. It's a good way to even win, maybe. I don't have to like you for it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Especially because Andy's my favorite. That's what really stings about it.
Mama, yeah. Here's the thing. I'm glad Tierra is here, because I'm about to lose my favorite. And there's already a minimal amount of people who I like in this house. I fear I'm not loving the people.
Oh, really? I like the girls, definitely. I like
the twins are funny. I think Gianna as a character is boring and a very much a blank slate. I think the twins are funny.
The twins are funny. I agree about Gianna. Sort of similar about like Maddie and Rachel, their profiles or whatever, but as people, I really get a kick out of them.
These episodes have been the most I've seen them, and I'm feeling meh. You know? And maybe it's because they're going for my boy, but like, neither of them are giving me what I want. Jada's just kind of giving me what I want, and like, honestly, I liked her better these episodes. But like, she's so in with Darian that it's like, I don't care about your relationship.
That's my problem. Is I'm sorry, Darian. You seem like a fine guy. I just don't care about your plotline.
Right. I like Kevin well enough. I just wish he was better at playing this game, because then I could like root for him more. But like, mama, he just keeps getting trampled, I fear. And it's like, that sucks.
And Garrett is not in the show yet.
God, no.
Literally don't. All I know is that he was watching things outside of the house. That's what I know about Garrett.
Correct. He's had like he's like, I have a conversation. I may be in with the girls. I may be in with the guys. And I may be in with Jadasia. It's like, Slay, he's very middle of the road. He's probably not going to get eliminated for a while, because like, no one gives a shit about him. But like, is he going to win? Probably not.
The game?
So Kevin and Tierra, we never actually talked about them.
Oh,
which
make an alliance, I guess.
They both really like talking game, which I really liked, but it gets ruined very shortly after this. But I did like the quote, Kevin with 4 E's and 3 I's.
Yeah.
It's so like Kevin with 4 E's and 3 I's is honestly one of my title suggestions.
No, that's a really
good one.
Because
it's just so peak circle, where it's like all this emotion that is completely manufactured. Like, no matter how real it is, there is like calculation and thought to it, and I love that.
No, I didn't have that one written down, and I just did, because I like that one a lot too.
Right, now let's talk about the game Wild Cards, which I feel like this game would have been more fun if they let everybody submit a card anonymously for each player.
I agree. It started happening, and I realized that I did not understand what was about to happen. Like, the design of it didn't seem right.
Well, the design is literally just, we're going to ask you to make a judgment on somebody, and for some of you, we're going to have you judging people you like, and for some of you, we're going to have you judging people you don't like. And there's no rhyme or reason as to who gets who.
Yeah, no, it really needed to just be pick a person, pick a card, and make an anonymous statement with them.
Yes.
Because then you can talk someone up, you can shit someone down. It could all end up being about one person, which would really be cool.
Also, I would have loved it. Another thing is if we were going to do this, like, going down the road thing, if cards could only be used once. Because, like, we had 3 insta-baddies, 2 alliance break. It's like, this means nothing.
Which is annoying, because apparently people did carry the alliance breaker thing kind of forward. Same with, like, what was it? The T-spiller one.
Yes.
Was, like, that kind of carried forward. So it's annoying that I need to, like, acknowledge that it all happened. But
right.
I did not like this game. This one was just poorly designed. It could have been good.
No, yeah, that's fair. It also, listen, far be it from me to talk about. I think it's really interesting that the girls group doesn't include Jadeja.
Yeah, I did think you were going to mention how sack-focused Gianna was during this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a lot of sack talk.
I missed it.
Lucky guy.
I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting because I feel like this should have been like a real cluing into like, hey, what's going on? Because like all of the girls in the girl group, including Garrett and Tierra, who I guess are maybe in the girl group, but it's not really been defined, all got positive stuff. Jadeja got like something mildly shady. And then all of the boys got like bad things. Actually, that's not true. Rachel also got the gentle catfish. But to be fair, everyone knows she's a catfish and no one cares.
Yeah, it feels like we've just moved on from that.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about Andy and Darian's conversation.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. Same as above, you're not gonna like get me. But I felt bad for Andy, especially as my favorite character, favorite person.
Yeah. Fair. That's fair. This one felt slightly more, but that's because I can just relate to like. Also, there's something so sad about being like, I'm struggling to feel valued. And I feel like all I have is like you guys and Madeline. Well, Madeline's like in another room being like, so I'm gonna stab him. Just like straight through the spine. It's like, that sucks. I was like, I could not watch the show if I was Heather/Andy, because I would go into a deep depression. My medication would not make me survive, I fear.
No, that's why it was a little bit sadder here, I think, is because like the feeling that you're sharing of your bad past is like it's kind of, you're right, it is happening again. Like that. No, like you're gonna watch this and be like, oh fuck, I wasn't just feeling that way because of my past. I was feeling that way because it's happening.
Right. Like it's really hard to take in. Like Darian's like, no, like you matter, like we care about you, like you're loved, when in fact we don't care about you and you're not loved.
Also, you're like, hey, playing a catfish. Like,
right.
Even if Darian thought he meant it, there's that extra layer of like, well, he's talking to a random guy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, these episodes weren't fun. Madeline and Tierra have a conversation.
I like that you've clearly given yourself permission to just be angry at anything in this episode now.
Mama, they were not bringing joy. They were not sparking joy.
Yeah, they didn't spark you up. Marie Kondo this episode. She's the one, right?
I'm going to delete these episodes from Netflix servers.
Good luck.
So Madeline, who is again Rachel, has the conversation with Tierra, and just in the middle is like, by the way, fuck Andy and fuck Kevin, and it works.
Yeah,
because you could just say shit in this game, and no one can fucking correct you.
Also, I think it's really funny that Tierra's like, am I going to throw Kevin under the bus? yeah, I think I am. And then just like
Yeah, oh, that sucks.
just frames that conversation now in the worst light. When like, was
Yes,
it a shallow alliance? Yeah, obviously that was a very shallow alliance.
obviously.
But like, it wasn't. There was no malice. Kevin wasn't
Yeah.
trying to trick you. Like he meant it as much as you did, which is to say,
Yes.
a bit. Like until it really gets tested, which I guess
Truly.
was immediately.
Yeah, no, and this sucks for me, and this sucks for me personally. No, but the thing I also don't love about this is like whenever new people come in, I'm always hoping that there'll be like some sort of shakeup. And like when Madeline and Garrett came in, nothing really changed. And now Tara's coming in and nothing's really changing, I fear. All right, let's talk about the rankings.
I wrote down Rachel's game is totally turned around. Crazy. And was deciding if I needed to express that in the show here, but I felt like I already had. So, to the ratings.
So this is something interesting that I was thinking of. This twist actually does, again, if Madeline and Rachel are working together, give them an advantage within the rankings, I sort of realized. Because both of their allies will still rate Madeline and Rachel number 1, and then they will both vote themselves number 1. That's like an extra number 1 placement for them.
Yeah.
Which is why they get number 1 and 2, and it makes sense.
Well,
and that's sort of what I mean with like the this twist pushes them into working together.
I mean, it definitely rewards working together in a major way. I'm impressed with how not only well they pulled it off, but how like non-deceptively and how they got each other's allies like interested in each other, either actually or at least in like, well, you forced my hand. I guess we're doing this. But like either way, it counts the same as long as the ratings come in. I think that's also why they are at the top. Is like Andy voted both of them high, probably because he felt obligated to. He was.
No, I will say the other thing I did not love about this. Again, it was a disruptive twist, and it already felt like the Gianna, Rachel, kind of Jadeja, kind of Garrett side of the house already sort of had the momentum to take over, and this just sped it up, which I always find it boring when one side of the house dominates. Again, I call it the house. I'm coming from like Big Brother, and that was my show, so I keep calling it a house, even though it's like the circle, but whatever. But like, it's just it gets boring to me when it's like, okay, well, we're in charge. We're just going to work on eliminating this person, like these outcasts. And this just accelerated that, which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I just, to be a broken record, feel like there were so many points at which this could have gone wrong that I don't really.
Oh no,
mind
that isn't saying that's what was intended. That's just saying that was the outcome of it, which makes me not love it.
Fair enough. Ratings though.
Yes. So Jadeja gets 3rd. Garrett gets 4th.
Wait, why did you not do 1 or... Oh, because we talked about 1 or 2?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Madeline and Rachel got 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I said it. Yeah.
Gianna got 5th. So the 3 boys are at the bottom.
Yeah.
Again, Garrett, I get it. It feels bad to not call him one of the boys, but he's not. He's not
literally
one of, like, the
Darian.
bros.
Garrett popped up as number 4, and then I think they called Gianna, and Darian's like, "Come on, where are the boys at?" It's like, well, one of them was right there. Okay, no, never mind.
No,
That's fine.
Listen, hey, if we're going to, here's the thing: is gay men are men, and also, at least if we're going to consider gay men women, at least we're going fully with it. Like gay men have to choose whether they're men or women, and Garrett's chosen to be a woman, and that, like, slay, that's a valid choice. He's not a man. He's not one of the bros because of it.
This sounds like one of your immorals.
No, I have an immoral. Anyways, Darian gets 6th. Yeah. And then we're left on a cliffhanger. I think it's pretty clear that Kevin is going to get 7th, then Andy's going to get 8th, and then Andy's going to go home. And then I'm going to be a lot less interested in the season.
I'm in denial. I've convinced myself that the only reason this was a cliffhanger is because somehow K-Fern goes home.
I don't see it. Not when Rachel and Madeline and Tiara were all voting Andy last. But
Oh yeah, no, it literally doesn't make any sense. It's the writing's on the wall. I'm not happy about it.
I hope Andy
but-
goes and visits Kevin.
Why?
Because I don't want him to go visit Madeline. Fuck Madeline.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know. I just curious the reason.
Just because, like, first of all, again, like, he was more loyal to Kevin in the end. But also, like, again, this is a bit of foreknowledge. I would be fucking bitter if I was like, oh, I'll go visit my, like, circle wife. And then on the watch back, she betrayed me and I went and visited her. Like, that's just a level of humiliation I don't need in my life.
Fair enough. But I think at the humiliation there, we've done it officially, right?
Yeah.
We're good. Okay.
We're good. I hope the next episodes are better.
It will be. And as always, thank you for listening. I'm checking the email. Jacqueline9 on YouTube commented, I missed you guys. Wow. So, hey, someone noticed. Feels nice. Hope it's okay we read your username.
I mean, it's a public YouTube comment, right?
I know.
Okay.
I hope it's okay, because it happened. So yeah, that's nice. It is good to be back, truly.
It is. You should bleep out the 9. Just make it Jacqueline bleep. And people will think you just said their last name. That's pretty funny.
It's something.
Fine, fuck you.
What?
It's something. That was so mean.
Well, tbbrpodcast@gmail.com. And if you want your thoughts heard, or apparently you can just comment somewhere, and as long as it sends me an email, I'll talk about it. But before we go for yet another week, Aubrey, what is this week's immoral? And if I may be so bold, I actually have one to offer that I thought of.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, I was going to ask, do you want me to go first so you still get the tag?
Yeah.
Well, my immoral for the week, my unofficial immoral, or maybe moral, you decide, is about adoption. Is yours also about adoption?
No.
Okay, good. So we're not going to cross paths here. Well, when it comes to adoption, I just sort of had a simple thought, and that's, you can make your own, but store-bought is fine.
I feel like that's a moral, not an immoral.
It's kind of a mean way to put it.
But it's true.
No, it is. There's nothing wrong with store-bought. There are plenty of perfectly good ones just going bad. Just go pick one out. Go get one.
Going bad is wild. Also, adoption is effectively just purchasing children, which is wild that system should be better. We should fix adoption in this country.
Like, make them cheaper and...
We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to get into
I legitimately, like, I know there's a lot of problems with adoption in this country, and I don't know what they are or how to fix them.
That feels like a not on podcast conversation.
We could do a second podcast that's just Aubrey teaches Taylor about the world.
That would be fun, by the way.
Problem is, too much of that has already happened.
True. We could recap. There's always more things. My moral, immoral, call it whatever you want, is it's very simple. It's very honest, but it's very true, and it's important to remember. Which is that betrayal is good as long as you're the one doing it. I'm just saying, someone's got to get pushed into the volcano when it's not me, it's you.
God, I wish I could use Jimmy Buffett's Volcano and Spotify wouldn't block us these days.
God, I'm glad you can't.